Hello, and welcome to another That's the Show video. My name's Joe, and that's about it, but that's not about it, guys. I am here at my local Odeon to see The Mandalorian and Grogu in IMAX. Now, I'm not expecting much from this movie, I can't lie. I've heard good things and I've heard bad things, but as far as I know, it doesn't affect the Star Wars lore or anything like that. It's very much just a fun action-adventure film, and also to get kids back into Star Wars, because Star Wars is for kids, guys. Like, let's be honest, us adults who can't let it go, like, we still enjoy it, but we're very, very picky with our Star Wars films and stories. But I'm just hoping I have a good time. That's all I'm hoping for. I'm hoping I have a really good time watching it, especially in IMAX, which it's been heavily marketing. Like, go and see it in IMAX, go and see it in IMAX. So I'm going to see it in IMAX, okay? Like, I'm going to see it in IMAX. Not true IMAX, but laser digital IMAX, a big screen, basically. So yeah, I'm gonna head into the venue. I'm gonna grab some food, and then we're gonna watch The Mandalorian Grogu. And I've actually got Grogu here with me. Here he is. Here he is. Shut up. Shut your little mouth. I didn't say you could speak. Well, is this the way? Was it the way to bring Star Wars back?
I can safely say probably not. Right, so it's been over 24 hours since I saw The Mandalorian and Grogu. Unfortunately, I got very ill during the screening. I just started feeling worse and worse. And by the time I got home, I just needed to go to sleep. So I'm only recording this reaction now. And it's good, to be honest, because I like to ponder on things. I like to think about them after I've watched them for a bit. And my overall thoughts are, I didn't like this film. I have loved the Mandalorian TV show, especially the first two seasons. I thought they were really gripping, really entertaining. And then when we went into the Book of Boba Fett, which was a huge disappointment, but we got those Mando episodes, I was so excited for season 3. And then I watched season 3 and I can't actually remember much of it, which is a problem. But that's probably me, to be honest. It's probably my memory just getting worse and worse. And I've just seen so many films, so many TV shows now that my brain just can't go, oh, which one was that again? But anyway, this film, The Mandalorian and Grogu, I thought it was a weird choice to bring Star Wars back to the cinema screens after like 6 years with this, but I was excited. I was like, oh, I'm looking forward to seeing how how the Mandalorian has developed, what his and Grogu's relationship is like, what the story is going to be, because this takes place between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, and obviously, even just in the TV show, there's been hints of the Empire kind of resurging as the First Order. They've got plans, and obviously Palpatine coming back and so on. So I was hoping to see a bit of development going towards the sequel trilogy with this film. But it is just an adventure with Mando and Grogu going on a couple of missions, and that's it. And that's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. If anything, this felt like an Indiana Jones film. It was very action-packed. It was visually very pleasing. I mean, I'm going to go into the positives first. So I thought the action scenes were awesome. I thought the IMAX element of it was really good, actually. It's really cool seeing them utilize the IMAX cameras and everything and the frame to film these big action sequences. I thought they were really cool. It's great to see the Mando and Grogu back in action. I thought the puppeteering was brilliant, not just Grogu, who was just cute as hell, and I just laughed and smiled every time he was on screen, but also like the Babu freaks that are in this film. There's like 4 of them. It was brilliant. There's like whole sections of this film that are just dedicated to the puppets, and it's really cool. So well done to like the filmmakers for achieving that. It's not an easy job. It takes time, and it was great. It was really cool seeing like puppets on screen for like a whole section of the movie and just being really entertaining. And the music was good. Obviously, it's the Ludwig guy who did the Mandalorian TV show, and he's done lots of Christopher Nolan films. The music wasn't very John Williams, but I liked that it wasn't very Star Wars-y. It had its own tone to it. Again, it was very similar to what we'd seen or heard in the TV show. Way more negatives for this film, man. I have way more negatives for this film, and it's really gutting that I feel like that. I just didn't feel like it was the right choice to put this in a cinema. There were points during the film, especially a small section, unfortunately with Grogu, where he's literally on screen for like 15 minutes, where people in my cinema were looking at their watches. The pacing was really off in places. I thought it was really weirdly paced, this film. And you're kind of going, come on, get to the next bit. And then there's like huge tonal shifts, which is quite shocking, which were cool. Like the darker moments were really cool, obviously. But the tonal shifts were just like, whoa. And then you back out of it and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? I thought the whole Rot of the Hutt thing was interesting. But I thought the performance Jeremy Allen White gave wasn't very like, oh yeah, I love this character. Just wasn't giving much. I just felt like there was more they could have done here. There was more development within like the Star Wars universe and the rise of the First Order. But you know, that's not the point of this film. This film is just to ease a younger generation that don't really know much about Star Wars back into the Star Wars universe, until we continue with whatever other films we've got coming. I don't know anymore, because when I went to Star Wars Celebration in 2023, they announced quite a few films like Dawn of the Jedi, a Rey Skywalker film, Dave Filoni's like Heir to the Empire, which is like a Mandoverse film, and a few other things, but they've not come to light. And instead, we got this. I don't understand the thinking. I think I would have enjoyed this more if it was on Disney Plus. I know that's really harsh to say, but there were some elements in it that just felt really TV-like, and I felt like you could see where an episode ends and it begins, and it just didn't feel quite right. Like the opening shot of this film, I'm not going to spoil, this ain't a spoiler review or anything, so it's nothing really to spoil, to be honest, but the opening shot is just really like, oh, like Star Wars, like your first opening shot of a Star Wars movie needs to be whoa, like all the other films that have come before have kind of done that. But it's just really general, like some of the cinematography and the lighting was just really off, and there was no color. It was just really, really weird. And also with Pedro Pascal literally only showing his face for about 10-15 minutes in the film at most, I just lose that faith that it's Pedro in the costume anymore, because we all know that he has stunties doing most of the performances in the TV show, the later parts of the TV show anyway, before, you know, when Pedro became like really famous. I just don't connect, because I know that behind the scenes sort of secret, so that's not quite working for me. And it's like one of the worst characters in this, whose performance I didn't enjoy at all, was Sigourney Weaver, who plays like this New Republic general leader, who gives Mando the missions. It's an interesting premise. You know, they've hired Mando as their bounty hunter to go and find out, you know, find warlords that have come from the fall of the Empire and capture them for information. And that's been really, really interesting. That was a really interesting part of the story that I was looking forward to seeing more. But she looked bored. She looked bored every time she gave him a task, or when she spoke. It just didn't feel, I wasn't like I feel like 10 years ago, if Sigourney Weaver was cast in a Star Wars film, everyone would have lost their minds. But I remember this was announced a couple of years ago, and people were like, oh, okay. And she just didn't look like she was enjoying herself, to be honest. It was just, I don't know, it didn't feel real. And yes, Star Wars is not real. But I think the main question we have to kind of think, does this movie answer, did it deliver in terms of getting children back into the Star Wars universe? And I'm going to say yes. I'm actually going to say yes, because I have seen loads of kids be excited for this. I was in a shopping centre not too long ago, and there were kids just randomly, like in different parts of the shopping centre, with Grogu merch. And so that's working. Obviously, the big thing about Star Wars is the merch. But there was quite a few kids at the IMAX screening, and even one wearing like a Mandalorian helmet, and that was really cool. So there is an audience there, and trying to get them back into the theatres for this is really important to Disney, Lucasfilm, and I do think it's going to work. I do think kids are going to like this film. Now, I think this is my version of the prequel trilogy, because I loved the prequel trilogy because I was a kid, and I'm hoping that kids of today like this film, even though I did not enjoy it. Because Star Wars needs a future. We really need a solid future for Star Wars for it to continue. I was majorly disappointed in this film, man. Really disappointed. If I'm gonna give it a rating out of 5, I'm giving it a 2. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. I think this is my least favourite Star Wars movie, next to Attack of the Clones. This is not a brilliant movie. It's not awful, but it's not good either. It's quite boring, actually. Thinking about some scenes, you just kind of like get on with it. But again, I'm not the target audience anymore, really. It's all about the kids. So I'm really interested to see what kids think about it, and like kids in my family and my friends' circles. And so I'm looking forward to hearing their opinion on it, because if they all love it and they go, yeah, I really loved it, oh, so cool, then Lucasfilm are doing a good job, man. They're doing a good job. They're getting those kids into the cinemas to see Star Wars, and yeah, the future might look bright. And to kind of think what the future for the Mandalorian Mandoverse is, I think there could be maybe another film or another TV show special for Disney Plus, but I don't think this is going to continue. Mandalorian story, or he's going to exist in other properties, like, you know, we've got the upcoming Ahsoka season 2. Oh god, is that it? Is that all we've got Star Wars TV show wise? But I have heard on the grapevine as well that what Lucasfilm are planning, and this is very obvious, is to take Star Wars back to the cinemas to make money again, obviously. But they were in pre-production for Ahsoka season 3, Skeleton Crew season 2. There was a lot going on for the Disney Plus shows and everything that they're going to continue. But since Filoni's come in and taken creativity charge of Lucasfilm, that's all being scrapped and they're going back to the movies, which is a bit, I really like the TV shows. I love Ahsoka. I like The Acolyte. I really liked what I saw of Skeleton Crew so far, and I love The Mandalorian. So what are they going to do? So they're going to take it all back to the cinemas, but with no Skywalker films? I'm really intrigued to see what they're going to do with Star Wars. Really, really intrigued. But we do have another Star Wars film on the way, and that is Star Wars Starfighter. I am very, very excited for this film. It's post The Rise of Skywalker, starring Ryan Gosling, Matt Smith, Mia Goth. Very interesting. And if what I'm hearing is true about the plot of the film, I think we're in for a treat. It's going to be really interesting seeing a film based post the sequel trilogy, possibly leading up to more Jedi shenanigans. But I'm really looking forward to Starfighter, and I'm really hoping we get our first look very, very soon, because this comes out in May 2027. And I love Gosling as an actor, loved him in Project Hail Mary, thought he's excellent. And the cast is stacked in this. Not like all big names, but actors I've seen in other projects and I've gone, yeah, I really dig them. And are they going to play a bad guy or good guy? Like, I'm really excited for Starfighter. So I do have some excitement for Star Wars still buzzing in my body, and I'm so ready for this film. But anyway, guys, that was my sort of review of The Mandalorian Grogu. 2 out of 5. Not bad, not awful, not good either, but yeah, it was a film. It was a film, and Grogu was cute as hell. But what did you think of the movie? Have you seen it yet? Have you not seen it yet? Let me know in the comments below. Would love to hear your thoughts about the film. And make sure you like the video if you enjoyed this review. And subscribe to the channel for more good, nerdy, and geeky content. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. And remember, this is the way.